Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece episode 882. So, the weirdest thing about this episode for me is that after watching this episode, I think I've finally understood the root of the problem that pretty much Toei faces on a constant basis when it comes to the One Piece anime. And believe it or not, it's pretty much not even the fact that Toei chooses to that Toei pretty much chooses to pretty much strength out to even stretch out the length of an episode. That in itself is not the problem. I'm fine with that, but as basically past episodes have shown, the main problem that I think Toei faces in situations with episodes like this is that they're, again, I think I said this once before, but they're not using that extra space wisely. What Toei is doing is they're just filling up with content we've seen time and time again, and I'm not blind. I have come around and understood as to why Toei does this. It's to save on budget, but even using the thing is, even using the most minimalistic amount of the budget of the animation budget, I still feel that in terms of in terms of stretching out an episode and using that extra space in an episode, I feel that there are better ways in order to use that extra space in order to expand on the already existing story. So I just don't know why. I just don't know as to why it is that they pretty much refuse to pretty much even kind of acknowledge that even acknowledge that this particular thing is even an option. Like it's almost like Toei execs or something that they pretty much they basically just look at an episode and say, yeah, we need to stretch this out. So why don't you just throw in like pretty much clips of episodes that we've already done. Like it's like Toei just kind of refuses to pretty much. It's like Toei refuses to basically acknowledge that there are other options out there, to expand on an episode, aside from that are basically beyond what they do already. So yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know what, like, I guess I just need to accept that this is gonna be the way that pretty much Toei is gonna do it. But yeah, I hope there comes a time where basically Toei understands that. I hope there comes a time. I don't know when, but I hope there comes a time that Toei realizes that whenever they need to pad out an episode, that there basically are alternatives in order to do that. As far as at what point that they're actually going to realize this, I don't know. And I mean the only excuse I can think of is of course that it's from the only excuse I can think of is as to why they wouldn't try this option is because of the basic thing of obviously a bit of an understaffing issue, maybe, but I don't know. I guess that could be the most logical one. Now having said all that, what in terms of the episode itself and that little and obviously us getting the flashbacks of Marineford, I will say that the one thing I kind of appreciate about this week's episode and last week's episode is that, and this is something I didn't mention, is I strangely kind of I like the perspective that we've been getting from Sen Goku, and how he's perfectly aware that something major is inevitably coming, and which basically contrasts to pretty much Akainu, who arrogantly thinks that he can stop what's basically going to come, what's coming before it even happens. And yeah, in terms of Akainu's whole arrogance of thinking he's going to be able to stop what's coming, I basically refer to pretty much Doflamingo's warning about the Throne Wars, and if they are any indication, then this big event that is on the horizon is going to have even longer lasting effects than on the world than anything that Prince Roger and basically Shiki did. Like the whole war with Roger and Shiki, that in itself was a big event. But these throne wars, I think that is going to top that, and the effects on the world after these throne wars is going to be long lasting. Is going to be is going to have a long lasting effect. Is going to have a long lasting, and especially with especially since obviously it is going to end with Luffy being crowned the new Pirate King. So, yeah, I'm definitely curious as to what I like about this is that it makes me realize that we are being set up for we are in a way being set up for basically an epilogue and how the world is going to change after Luffy becomes Pirate King. Like I'm curious to see which kind of gives us an idea as to how possibly the ending of One Piece is going to be too. So yeah, I'm just really curious about that now. Of course, the big thing now. Pretty much just no. Of course, Of course, I'm gonna stop talking about the fact that they recapped the episode, but they put recap in the episode. But even going beyond all the recap in the episode. One big thing about this episode is, of course, and we see it in the preview, is that King Neptune and his family have basically arrived at pretty much at the meeting of kings and the Levelly, and the big thing in order to take away from. And the big thing to take away from basically that pretty much whole scene is definitely the reactions of the citizens, because I guess that one could make the argument that a lot of how the citizens reacted is just because they're pretty much royalty, but we also have to remember that pretty much hatred and racism towards fishermen is still a problem in this world. So when we kind of see in terms of seeing this pretty much of a different reception to compare to how things were at pretty much earlier in the series at basically when we were in Sop Odi. It does show that with the citizens pretty much greeting King Neptune and his family so warmly. It does show that hope for humans and fishermen to coexist is kind of still still alive and well, and it is possible for the two races to exist, and this Levelly is like the first step to that. So yeah, I really like that for sure. Now the other big thing in this episode is we get introduced to the third admiral, Ryokugyu, having a conversation with basically Fuji Itora, who drops a huge bombshell on us, which is that the latter has met with Vegapunk, who's apparently, according to the words of basically Fuji Itora, apparently with Vegapunk, he's created something that could eliminate either the warlord system or just this current system in general. And I think from the dialogue, I think it is the warlord system though, and that's one of those reveals where story wise it is a huge reveal, and it makes you wonder just what kind of an invention has Vegapunk created that can pretty much eliminate the warlord system. Like, it's got to be something huge in order for a big change like that. In order for basically someone like Fuji Itora in order to make that claim, like whatever Vegapunk's created, it's definitely going to be big enough to it's definitely huge for sure. So, and I really want to know what it was, but even more so than that, so basically story wise, it is a huge reveal, and I'm curious to see what basically Vegapunk has up his sleeve with that. But from a fan's perspective, I remember when I read this in the manga, I shouted out loud, "Fuck you, Oda!" Like seriously, fuck you, Oda. And in a way, I still stand by it, and I still stand by that basically I still stand by that to this day, because it pisses me off that everyone else within the series has pretty much has gotten this off-screen introduction to basically the infamous scientist of Vegapunk, but we still haven't gotten a full-on introduction to him yet, and it like seriously Oda, fuck off and give us a goddamn introduction to Vegapunk already. You've delayed it long enough. Just give it to us already. But it's like, I mean, it's one of those things where I get it. I do. It's Oda's way of saying. It's Oda's and the series way of telling us that when we do get that introduction, it will be worth the wait. But it's like, Oda, we've been waiting for pretty much 20 goddamn years or maybe or 10. I don't know. It all depends on when when Vegapunk was first introduced. But yeah, we've been waiting for years in order to get Vegapunk's like full on introduction. Just give it to us already, Oda. We're ready. Just give it to us. We want to see Vegapunk. We basically we pretty much want to know who it is that Caesar was working for. How the Vince Smokes ended up being colleagues of Vegapunk. Just all these things around Vegapunk, we want to know. So please, just give us a full-on introduction already, Oda, please. But yeah, I know what Oda's building up here. He's building it up so much, so when it does happen, it'll be well worth the wait. I had to get that off my chest. And of course, and we finally get introduced to all the rulers here who are going to be at the Levelly. So hopefully with that happening, hopefully with that being the case and us having gone through that, we'll hopefully be able to move forward with the actual story of the Levelly arc. Cause yeah, even though this is my problem with these smaller arcs, even though it's been a rather rough ride getting to this point, there is so much that's going to be revealed and set up in this arc, and like. It really just sucks how these smaller arcs end up getting treated in the anime. Like I think I really believe that basically all arcs in the anime, whether small or big, I think that they pretty much need a respectful like adaptation, and well, you could argue that the bigger arcs have a little more room in order to have all that filler and whatnot. With the smaller arcs, I don't know. It's a tightrope, because on one hand I understand as to why all this stuff gets added, but all these smaller arcs that definitely deserve a lot more respect. That's kind of all I'm saying, I guess. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.